Hello everyone. Today, we will continue visiting some fruit farms in the United States to see how farmers here harvest thousands of tons of fruit. The first stop on our journey is a cantaloupe farm in the lower Rio Grande Valley, Texas. This region is one of the most important agricultural production areas in the US, known for its warm climate and fertile soil. According to statistics from the US Department of Agriculture, USDA, in 2021, the total cantaloupe cultivation area nationwide was 63,000 acres, producing 1.4 billion pounds of melons and generating $313 million in revenue. Currently, California is the largest producer of cantaloupes in the US, accounting for 58% of the country's total output. The cantaloupe growing process begins with soil preparation. Because cantaloupes require loose, well-drained soil, farmers till the land to remove weeds, aerate the soil, and add necessary nutrients. Once the plants start growing, they are regularly cared for, including controlled irrigation, fertilization, and monitoring growth. Additionally, pollination plays a crucial role in determining the fruit's quality. Since cantaloupes primarily rely on bees and insects for pollination, some farms even raise bees near their crops to enhance pollination efficiency, ensuring even fruit growth and a beautiful shape. Cantaloupes take about 70 to 90 days to mature, depending on weather conditions and the variety. As the fruit grows, farmers often place protective nets around them to prevent damage from insects or rodents. The harvest season for cantaloupes in the lower Rio Grande Valley takes place from June to September. Melons are harvested by hand to prevent scratches or bruising. Workers use special knives to cut the stems, leaving a small portion attached to extend shelf life. After harvesting, the melons are carefully placed in large bins or baskets and transported to processing areas. On large farms, the harvesting process runs continuously throughout the day, with hundreds of workers operating in the fields. The harvested melons are then sent to warehouses for washing, sorting, and rapid cooling. Once cooled, the cantaloupes are packed into cartons or protective nets before being shipped to domestic and international markets. Texas is a major agricultural export hub, meaning melons from this region are distributed across the US and exported to Canada, Mexico, and other countries. Next, let's visit an apple farm in Washington State. Washington is the largest apple-producing state in the US and is often referred to as the apple capital of the country, accounting for 66% of the nation's apple production. We will explore a red delicious apple farm in Washington to see how apples are harvested. Many farms in the state use drip irrigation systems to conserve water and ensure tree roots absorb moisture efficiently. To maintain apple quality and size, trees must be pruned regularly. Pruning removes old or weak branches, improves sunlight exposure and airflow, and reduces the risk of pests and diseases. Additionally, fruit thinning is another crucial process. As apple trees start bearing fruit, farmers remove smaller apples or those growing too close together, leaving only the most promising ones to develop. The apple harvest season in Washington typically begins in late August and lasts until late November. During this time, hundreds of workers come to Washington's apple farms to assist with the harvest. Red Delicious apples are considered one of the best apple varieties in the world and are exported globally. Most apples in Washington are hand-picked to avoid bruising or damage. Workers wear gloves and use chest-mounted picking bags to gently place apples inside, preventing drops or rough handling. Each worker can pick around 900 to 1,200 kilograms, 2,000 to 2,600 pounds of apples per day. Once harvested, apples are placed into large bins and immediately transported to storage facilities. Then they enter the processing line, where they are washed to remove dirt, leaves, and small branches. Next, apples are sorted by size, color, and quality before being packed into cardboard boxes or plastic bags and shipped to domestic and international markets. Now, let's see what's happening at a citrus farm in Alabama. Alabama and Florida are currently two of the largest citrus-producing states in the US. Citrus trees are typically planted in the spring, when the weather is mild. Seeds can be sown directly into the soil, or pre-grown saplings can be transplanted. The spacing between trees is usually 4 to 6 meters, 13 to 20 feet, to ensure enough room for growth. Once planted, irrigation is applied to keep the soil moist and help the seeds germinate. As citrus trees grow, they require watering, fertilization, and pest control. Pruning is a key part of citrus tree maintenance. Workers prune trees in early spring to remove dead or diseased branches and shape the trees. This improves air circulation and allows the trees to grow evenly, making harvesting easier. The citrus harvest season usually occurs from October to December. Citrus fruits are picked when they reach optimal size and color. Workers gently press the fruit to check ripeness. If the fruit is soft and fragrant, it's ready for harvest. During harvesting, knives or pruning shears are used to cut the fruit from the tree to prevent damage. Afterward, the fruits are washed to remove dirt and debris. Only fruits that meet quality standards proceed to processing, packaging, and distribution. Next, we will visit a pineapple farm in Hawaii, USA. Pineapple, Ananas commosis, is one of the most popular tropical fruits in the world, known for its sweet flavor and high nutritional value. In the United States, pineapples are primarily grown in Hawaii, Florida, and California, with Hawaii being the largest pineapple producing state. According to statistics from 2019, Hawaii produced approximately 415 million pineapples and is the largest pineapple producer in the United States. The average wage that these workers receive is about $16 per hour. Before starting to grow pineapples, the land must be cleared of weeds and impurities, plowed, fertilized, and formed into planting beds. Pineapples are usually planted in the spring, with the sowing period typically starting from March to June. Pineapples are mainly propagated using suckers or the tops of the pineapple fruit, rather than being grown from seeds. Farmers can plant pineapples from pineapple suckers, also known as crowns, or from seedlings that have been pre-grown. After planting, water is applied to keep the soil moist, helping the pineapple suckers to germinate. The seedlings are planted with a spacing of 30 to 45 centimeters between plants and 90 to 120 centimeters between rows to ensure adequate growing space. After planting, the soil is covered with a layer of mulch or straw to retain moisture and suppress weeds. In addition to watering, pruning is also an important step in the care process for pineapples. Farmers will remove old, damaged, or diseased leaves to help the plants grow healthier. Pineapples have a unique development process where the plant will flower and then bear fruit. After the pineapple plant reaches about 18 to 24 months of age, it will begin to flower. The flowering process usually occurs in the summer, and the flowers will bloom over a period of 2 to 3 weeks. Pineapples are self-pollinating plants, but can also cross-pollinate with other plants. After pollination, the pineapple fruit will begin to form and develop. In the United States, the pineapple harvest season occurs year-round, but the peak typically runs from March to July. Pineapples are usually harvested when the fruit has reached optimal size and has a bright yellow color. The harvesting process is typically done by hand. Due to the sharp and tough leaves of the pineapple, harvesting workers must wear protective clothing and thick gloves. Farmers will use knives or shears to cut the stem close to the base, ensuring that the fruit is not damaged. Hand harvesting helps ensure product quality, as pineapples are very sensitive and easily bruised. After harvesting, pineapples are placed into bins or boxes for transport to the processing area. After harvesting, pineapples must be cleaned, sorted, cooled, packaged, and distributed to the market. The pineapple industry in the United States, particularly in Hawaii, plays an important role in the agricultural economy. Hawaii is the largest pineapple producing state in the US, providing a large quantity of fresh and canned pineapples for both domestic and international markets. The pineapple industry creates thousands of jobs for farmers, harvest workers, and laborers in processing plants. Modern technologies such as drip irrigation, artificial flowering stimulation, and post-harvest processing help increase productivity and product quality. Next, we will visit a grapefruit farm in the United States. Grapefruit is one of the most economically valuable fruits in the US, particularly in warm climate states such as Florida, Texas, and California. Grapefruit cultivation begins with selecting varieties that are well suited to the climate and soil conditions of each region. The most common grapefruit varieties in the US include ruby red, white grapefruit, and pink grapefruit. Grapefruit trees are typically grown from grafted seedlings to ensure quality and shorten the growth period. Planting usually takes place in early spring or fall when mild weather helps young trees adapt to their new environment. Each tree is spaced 5 to 7 meters apart to allow sufficient room for growth. After planting, seedlings are regularly watered to maintain soil moisture and promote root development. Large farms often use drip irrigation or sprinkler systems to conserve water and provide consistent moisture to the trees. Pruning helps maintain a balanced tree shape, enhances sunlight exposure and airflow, reduces the risk of pests and diseases, and ultimately increases productivity. Grapefruit trees typically bloom in the spring. The white flowers have a distinctive fragrance that attracts bees and other insects for pollination. Once pollination is successful, the flowers fall off and young fruits begin to develop. During this stage, the trees require special care, including regular watering, nutrient supplementation, and pest monitoring. Some farms practice fruit thinning, where excess young fruits are removed to allow the remaining ones to receive more nutrients, resulting in larger and higher quality grapefruits. Grapefruits take approximately 7 to 9 months to fully develop and ripen. During this period, farmers closely monitor the fruit to ensure even growth and protection from adverse weather or pests. Some farms use shade nets to shield the fruit from excessive sunlight and strong winds. The grapefruit harvest season in the US typically begins in October and lasts until May of the following year, depending on the variety and weather conditions. Determining the right time to harvest is crucial, as grapefruits reach their best quality only when fully ripened on the tree. The harvesting process is done entirely by hand to prevent bruising or scratching the fruit's skin. Workers use specialized shears to cut the fruit from the stem and carefully place them into baskets or plastic crates. Each worker can harvest hundreds of kilograms of grapefruit per day. After harvesting, the grapefruits are transported to a packaging facility for cleaning, sorting, and packing before being distributed for domestic consumption and export to various countries worldwide. Are you interested in learning more about the advanced agricultural techniques used in grapefruit cultivation and harvesting? What impressed you the most? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section below the video.